Hi, what's up? Team Janners, what's happening? Now, I just wanted to do a video today about when I worked as a chef and how it was probably the biggest mistake I ever made in my life going into catering. I just wanted to do a video about the reasons not to become a chef if you do know anyone who does want to work in a kitchen or someone who's young and wants to take that career path. My advice to you would be, before they commit to any courses or enrol in any college courses, I would strongly recommend that you get them to work in a kitchen first, just so they can actually see what it's like. If I'd done that, I would never have gone into it. Now, I'm not going to say the whole experience of being a chef was awful. I did learn a lot of good skills, and there were times I did really enjoy my job. You know, when you had a big function and you were catering for sort of 400 or 500 people, and it all went well, and at the end, you'd feel really good and accomplished. But then there's other days it could be very, very stressful. You'd be on your feet all day. You'd be doing sort of 10, 12-hour shifts. And, you get people calling in sick, and then you have to stay and do, you're doing 5 people's jobs between 2 of you, which was horrible. And, a thing that people don't realise, a lot of people seem to think that chefs are well paid. They're not. I was earning, up until the age of 27 when I left catering. I think if I was lucky, I was taking home about £1,000 a month. It was absolutely rubbish. And living in London, that obviously was very tough to live on. Excuse me. So I know people, they see programmes like Hell's Kitchen, or, they say Ready to Steady Cook and all these other programmes, and they think, oh, it's all glamorous, it's all clean and it's all nice. And, working in a kitchen is not like that at all, I promise you. It's very stressful. You're on your feet all day. It's very dirty. You don't have a great social life because of the hours you work. And I would just say to anyone, who is thinking of going down that road, you really need to consider this first. Because if you do get into it and you don't like it, chances are you're going to be working very long hours, a lot of evenings, weekends. Going back to college is going to be very difficult because, you won't have the time off to do it. Unless you do an open university course, that may be different. But I just think there's a lot of things they don't tell you before you go into it. And I just... one thing I think they should teach in schools is when you choose a career, or you're thinking of choosing a career, they should actually sit down and, explain to you how much you're going to earn, what the career prospects are, how much you'll be earning in 5 years' time, or what the career progression is. And, when I was at school, there was none of that. You literally just chose an option and that was it. They kicked you out and off you went, and there wasn't really much, help. So, yeah, I would just say it's not a great job. It's definitely not glamorous. And, if you want to earn really good money, then I would probably look at something else. The only way you'll ever make money as a chef is if you either run your own business and it's successful, or you work your way up to a very top prestigious hotel or restaurant, which, could take 20 odd years to do. But a lot of people don't make it that far because they can't cope with the pressure, or, they just don't like the job, which is totally understandable. And... yeah, I just think, it's very misleading because people see, Gordon Ramsay and people like that do become very successful. Fair play to them. He's a great chef. I'm glad he's done well. But, they think that, they're all going to hit the big time. They'll be multi-millionaires. And, that's just not the case. That very, very rarely happens. So, I loved cooking at school. Home economics was probably one of the only few subjects I actually did enjoy. So I thought... doing it as a career, would be a great idea, but, doing something as a hobby and actually doing it as a full-time job, as we know, are totally different things. And, quite often you can grow to hate something, especially, if it doesn't pay you well and, you're working really hard and not really making any progress. So, yeah, if you are thinking of going down that road, my advice to you would be just work in a kitchen first, see what it's actually like. Make sure, you know what the chefs are going to be like that you're working with, because there is a lot of bullying that goes on, and it is a heavily male dominated industry, and you will get you will see sometimes the language can be horrible, and the shouting and swearing, and it is quite a stressful environment. So I did it for 11 years, and I wish I'd left it much sooner, but I kind of got stuck in a rut, and it got to the point, it's my own fault. I was too scared to try anything else, because I did apply for other jobs, but because I didn't have any computer skills, or I'd never worked in an office, that was a big disadvantage. And, you know, it wasn't until I finally had enough at the age of 27, I actually just left my job. I handed my notice in and, you know, I'd saved up, so I had, you know, enough to cover my rent for like about, you know, 5 or 6 months. So I could really concentrate on getting another job and getting out of it once and for all. But yeah, as someone who's done it for 11 years, that would be my advice to you. So if you are thinking of going down that road, really have a good think about it, because, you know, it might not be the path that you think it's going to be.